Okay, members and friends, back to the ranch. There's my chicken eggs. Look at that. Isn't that just lovely? They say this may be a sign of worms, but I don't know. I think that could be coming from the foot. You wash the egg when you find them like that, and you get some dementous earth or something. This is their pen. Mr. Lay's giving me feathers. There's a few of them around. They've been cooped up in here for a couple of days. I don't always let them out. Right. What we're doing is a little harvest 2, and we'll see what's happened since the last time I was out here. It's rained. Well, beans are ready to come in. You can see they've gotten quite large again. Whatever was left. So we'll come in and we'll grab some more beans. All right. Let's see what's happening over here. It's just rained. So I have a zucchini. One found its way. Right, it seems to be okay. I don't know if there's anything over there. Looks like there's a zucchini plant, but I don't know if it's got any zucchinis on it. But anyway, here's my cucumbers. Kind of growing. Right, there's another one. I think that's chickens eating my tomatoes. So we'll pick the ones that are ripening. I haven't really had a chance to do anything out here, members and friends. I just threw them in the ground and just kind of ignored them after that. I mean, obviously you can see the poor plant fell down on its own. And these ones are ready. I wanted to can these. Right? Ooh, look at this. Got tomatoes everywhere. Oh, that's why I planted these. Hey, get out of here, Lady Bird. I just caught you. Just caught you eating my tomato. Oh, Lady Bird, such a pain. I couldn't imagine having 2 more females around. This is still kind of in the mix. I said to my son, I said, well, you know, we did build Mr. Lace's pen in the wintertime, start on Christmas Eve for him. So, you know, we can always work on this in the wintertime too, right? It doesn't have to be summer. So anyway, it smells really good here, people. Oh, I love the way tomato plants smell. So we got those. So I have to pick those before the birds get to them. Hold on a minute. Okay, these birds are following me. All right? Lady Bird's such a skittish little bird. I'm surprised that you're even following me. This is your way of telling me you want some food. Isn't it? I know. So now I gotcha. Huh? Because if you get lots of food, you just run around like a schizo and ignore me. Dashing around the yard, can't even get close to you. But now that you're hungry, you're trying to talk to me. So I have your attention now. Isn't that something else? Okay, let's go see. I'm gonna go get you some food. Come on, you gonna follow me up the stairs? Look at that, members and friends. This is too funny. That bird is a very shy bird. She's just being cocky with Mr. Lace right now. See, they say, feed us. Feed us. We're hungry. We want some food. Come on. Don't be shy. I get him some food. Alrighty-o. Here's some old technology. 1998 Windows operating system. And this is why I don't understand why these things go out of obsolete. You can't even get a 98 repaired anymore. But yet you have the CDs, right? Oh, what is this, Andre?
I'm the Cat in the Hat.
Just listen.
This is my living book. I am here to have fun. Won't you come take a look? Now to hear our fun.
Old technology, people. Still works. Alrighty-o. So, raccoons like seaweed. Obviously this was raccoons, right? I don't think it was cats. Right. Hold on. Okay, members and friends, I'm just going through the seaweed now. Ugh. And some of those little sand fleas made it home in the seaweed. The little guy's all stressed out. He was just moving here a minute ago. He's pretending he's dead. There's another one over here. There's a few of them around, so I'm just picking them up. Where did he go? So it looks like the raccoons ate that crab. I don't see it here. Not at all. And there's something else in here. One of those funny looking things that was swimming on it. Don't push on that, it's right here. So I'll try and get him out later. I guess he just came in on something. So we'll have to put him in something, and maybe we'll look under a microscope after he dries out a bit or something, because I ain't going back to the ocean to take him back today. Right?
I see.
Just a few other little things. Well, there's a baby dead crab right here. I can tell that's a crab. Because when I picked up that... Oops, sorry. He might be dead, or I don't know what that is. But anyway, we'll put this guy right here for now. We'll see what happens. You know, when I picked up that big clump of seaweed, I just picked it up, right? So, this one here, I don't know, it was some shell that was floating around. Obviously, you can see there's seaweed growing on that. Alright. So, hold on. That's Mr. Lace. Anyway, here's the seagrass. There's this, I guess, lettuce leaf. Seaweed. Here's a different kind, as you can see. This is different. This is different. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. About eight different types. If you look here at these shells, they have little air bubbles. See all those little air bubbles? Well, air pockets, maybe. You can see it. This one too. I think what it's coming from are these things. Because they had sand in them, right? So obviously those are living. To be leaving air pockets. When I pulled up that seaweed, the big clump, you can see these guys were living. They were in the seaweed when I was sorting out the seaweed. Oh, look at that little guy. Where is he? Is it that one? I'm pretty sure I seen him moving. So, yeah, it's moving. Slowly. But it's moving. Camera doesn't like to get too close. I need a different camera. Anyway, the crab is gone. Somebody ate that. So now we're gonna... Oh, there, he's moving again. Where is it? I see it moving. There. You see it moving, people? He's saying, get me out of here. How did I end up here? Maybe what we'll do is we'll go make it a habitat. I'll go and put some of this seaweed in a fish bowl that I have. And we'll put them in there. I don't have no water or nothing, but the moisture from the seaweed will help them out. I have some sea salt that's unprocessed. I don't know what that is. Some sort of hermit crab. Alright. I'd probably kill it if I did that. And then we got some rocks that came in with the seaweed. Put those little sea fleas, sea lice or whatever, kind of like baby shrimp. Oops. Right. I put one in there. Kind of buried himself in there. So, these guys, they're not very, oops. They're not very hardy. Or maybe they just play fake dead or something. But anyway, and then we've got this big thing of seaweed. Hold on. Okay, so now we're in the X room here at Study Club. Alright, believe it or not, this battery that's been sitting in this thing for God knows how long is still working. I got a slightly little better microscope, nothing fancy, in the house. This is the stuff from October 21st, 2010. This is sand. What's in there? Some old dried up seaweed. It's that seagrass, people. Here's some water. Crud in it. Here's some shells. This is what the kids got, right? I'm talking, hold on. This is what the kids got. Here's some straight up sand. A big bottle of water with something on the bottom. Oops, sorry. Let's see, ocean water. That's how 2010 October. So 11, 12, 13. That's almost 4 years old, people. All of this is 4 years old. This is pre-Fukashima. This is before Fukashima. It blew its stack. There's something else in here. I don't know what's happened to that, but it's obviously grown something. Whew. Spiders. See that spider running around? And here's some more. Don't forget, people, this is like 4 years old. So, who knows? Alright. And then there's the seaweed. Strontium 90 attacks bones. It's old beef bones when I used to have a dog. These ones have been bleached. Obviously, not that one. It's when you make beef soup, right? Let's just for show and tell. But I guess what strontium 90 does is it gets itself in the marrow, and it probably eats from the inside out. Not sure. Here's Lucy. So, let's see if we can set up a little habitat for that little hermit crab. I don't know where he went. He already took off. There it is, right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up online, and I'm going to see, just for the sake of seeing, if I can make some imitation ocean water. And we'll put it in this big bowl. Because like I say, I have unprocessed salt. It should be unprocessed. I have Himalayan salt, and I also have Celtic salt. I have two different types. And I have them in crystal form, in shake form, and in rock form. So why don't we set up some little salt baths on here maybe. And see if we can get these guys to kind of grow. Continue growing. Wouldn't that be interesting? Okay. I don't know if that's possible. We'll see. We'll be back. Alrighty-o. So I looked online, didn't see too much here. But this is this Himalayan salt, right? I have it there in chunk form. You can see I have it fine. And then there's that Celtic one. Alright, it's different. I really like the taste of this one. And what we're going to do is we just want to make almost the same salinity, right, of what the ocean would be. So that would equal to about 35 grams of salt to every liter of water. So here's a liter of water. We also have it in cups here.
I'm only going.
Nowhere. I'm talking. I have it in cups. Here's up to 2 liters. Right? And then it's a quarter cup. Let's see, add 35 grams to every liter of water, or a quarter cup to every 4 cups. So that would be a half a cup to 16 cups of water. And then you boil it, and you kind of stir it in as you go to have it dissolve. Right? And then you run it through a coffee, you know, coffee grinder, like a coffee filter, right? But you know, not everything here is going to be to a T. So let's start with the Himalayan salt first. Okay, we're going to do 2 different batches here, and I'm going to do 8 cups on each batch, and then we're going to take it to the study room, and we're going to set it up. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to do a double batch here for that big fish bowl. Okay, I figured that will just fill up that bowl kind of nicely. So that will be 16 cups of water to 1 cup of, well, I'm using Himalayan salt. This is the stuff I feed my family. And then we'll do a half a batch of the Celtic after. And then I think what I'm going to do is boil some water, and then just take a dish like this and put the water in there with a chunk of that in there or something. We'll see. Okay, members and friends. So as you see, it's starting to heat up. So you sprinkle it in, right? This is how you make salt water. And you stir it. Now, technically you should be using distilled water. That's what I read, preferably. But I don't have no money and no, I can't go to the store and buy any. I'm not making any. So the chlorine will evaporate as you boil it anyway, right? You can boil out impurities, right? Plus, if you let it sit for 24 hours straight from the tap, the chlorine will evaporate itself. So anyway, you can see it's dissolving. So you do this, right? You can see it at the bottom. You just stir. And I've got the one fish bowl ready. So, hold on.
What are you making?
I'm making salt water. So, as you can see, it's kind of pink. So, yeah, well, I'm using pink Himalayan salt right now. It's supposed to be 100% pure. It comes from the Himalaya mountains, so they say. That's what I've been feeding you when I cook food and stuff. And or Celtic salt. Anyway, this here I'm just stirring. I just put in the last quarter cup. I'm just going to stir it for a while and just boil it down a little bit just to make sure it's dissolved. And then I'm going to get a strainer and I'll put a coffee filter in it, and I'm going to put it over the bowl, which I'll wipe out because it still has residue from the tap water, right? It's not like I plan to do these things, people. So anyway, this afternoon I'm going to a memorial for Kyle Yellowbird. He was the young man who was walking home from a party with his little friend, the 17-year-old, and he got stabbed in the middle of a road from some raging maniac that got out of his car and was acting like a freaking idiot. He stabbed both boys. Kyle was like something like 21. Unfortunately, he died. So his mom is having a memorial for him today. So we're going to go there a little later on and just pop in and bring some drums and hang out for an hour or two and just give the mom a little bit of support. So for now, I'm just doing this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out another little fish tank. I have them all over the place, really, members and friends. So this isn't really anything new in terms of fish tanks and stuff like that. Never really played around with saltwater fish tanks before or anything like that. So this is just kind of a homemade experiment. We'll do some crystal growing and, just kind of build into this, the concept of the X Club there, right? So in the meantime, we're just trying to make some salt waters equal to the salinity of what the ocean would be for those couple of seaweed plants that I brought home, and we'll see if they catch. I'll look for a little pump. I got pumps around here too, and we'll see if we can irrigate the water, because that's important, right? And you can see this is very, very pink. The water is very pink. So I don't know. I would think this salt here will be much clearer. So what I'll do is, once this is done, I'll let it cool, measure it out, put it into that bowl, get the other fish tank, or one of them anyway, make another batch, equal amount, with this salt. And I have Hawaiian salt here too. I don't have a lot of it. It comes actually from Hawaii. But maybe we can make a very small little batch. I have to find it though. I've tucked it away somewhere. It has a unique taste of its own too. So we'll just let this boil for a few minutes to boil out the chlorine anyway. And then this one here, what I'll do is I'll set up the tank, but we'll put nothing in it and we'll let it sit for a couple of days just to let the chlorine and everything evaporate, even though I'm boiling it, right? We'll just give it some time just to kind of, develop its own ecosystem in there. And then when I have some time and I'm in the neighborhood, I'll pop into a pet store or something and I'll make inquiries about the salt that they use for salt water tanks, just to see, what the difference is. So we'll be back. Okay, so I go get the other fish tank. And what flies in there? I wasn't even gone for not even 5 minutes. A bloody hornet flew itself in there and killed itself. We'll save its wings. And we'll look under the microscope. And there is that other little fish tank. I got another one, and then I got bigger ones. And then I got a real big one downstairs that I haven't sparked up since I've been in this house. The last house that we lived in, my dad, you're there? He'll verify this. We had a crappy landlord. She was running a freaking grow-up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we had city come in and do an inspection because I almost got electrocuted with their funky wiring and plumbing and all this other crap. Anyway, long story short, hydro got cut off the pole for 12 days. And my fish that I had I had several fish, really. I had a Pecosmus that was like, oh my God, I don't know. He was really big. Like, he was huge. And then I had, I can't remember what the name of it, but the fish was bigger than my fist. It was like twice the size of my fist. And because the hydro was cut off at the pole, right, for 12 days or whatever it was, all my fish died. They killed my fish. So anyway, it was in October, and it was just too cold. The house got to like almost 50 degrees, 40, 55 degrees, and it just got cold and then just died. All the fish died. Anyway, that's gonna be with the Celtic salt, that one. Okay, so as you can see, in the center of the pot, it's got a concentration of salt crystals. Here, I'm bringing in a little lighthouse, so I'll probably run a hose through there and have it come out through the bottom. And then I have one of these things meant for like guppies and stuff like that. But I'll put that in there so that can just float a little bit, right? And to keep the cats out, and anything that might be in there, or bugs or whatever out, I don't know. Mosquitoes. Not mosquitoes, wasps. Since they seem to like salt water. But this is something that I bought for the greenhouse. It's a mesh thing for a door or something to keep mosquitoes out, but I'll just cut it up and give it some trim. And then, make it so it goes around and hugs it tight. Same thing for that one too. So that's the only thing I could find. I bought it for $10 at Value Village thrift store, right? It was for the greenhouse, so this will be fine for this. So hold on. So there's the cover. Okay, so I just want to point out the sediment from boiling that water with that salt. Do you see it? And I don't think 16 cups of water, 2 liters is going to be enough for this bowl. Alrighty, yo. I'm straining it a second time. Oh, I'm talking. I'm doing video. See? There's some there. Some at the bottom of the pot. It likes to come together. And then this last little bit from the pot, you can see it's still in the liquid, right? So I'm just straining it one more time. Anyway, I don't know how many times I'm supposed to do this, or I don't even know if this is gonna work. So, and maybe I'll do it one more time, just this little batch anyway, because that other stuff will probably settle to the bottom, because I plan on taking some of those rocks and stuff anyway and putting them on the bottom as is, right, to get that balance with the bacteria. Maybe there you can see it on the coffee filter already. It's already on the coffee filter. I don't know if you're supposed to do it again and again and again, but in theory. Okay, so I was just saying to my dad, I don't know why I'm doing this today, right? I'm playing. My dad says, oh, every day you don't have to be in the kitchen, right? I deserve a break here. Anyway, this is a cup's worth of expensive salt that has been strained basically twice. I did it again the second time, almost to the bottom of this, right? But whatever's there will settle, I'm sure. And I'm probably going to have to spend another... if that's 1 cup of salt, you're looking at 1, 2, 3 more cups just to fill this up. at the equation of this mixture. So now I'm going to take it into the steak club. Hold on. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I've never done this before, except for maybe when I was a kid or something. Never, not to this degree, boiling salt water, but anyway, probably brought home rocks and stuff. This I'm just going to put in as is. Right. Same thing with this one. It's got sand on it, whatever. Just put it in there as is. And then I'm probably just going to take half of these, maybe. Oops. Okay. Yeah. I want to throw in just this. This stuff starts to go bad within 36 hours. This one's not alive. I know that. I have over there something growing on the rock here, right? Where they get their nutrients from, obviously from the sand or something. This one here was just on a shell. Kind of stinky, guys. It smells like an ocean. Anyway, we'll just put it in there for now. Right? And we'll just throw those in there. Oops, sorry. I have to find the little pump. I moved it. And I don't remember where I put it because my storage space again was kind of small, right? Anyway, we'll just leave that in there like that. Okay. It's still too warm to be putting plants in there. So, but I plan on putting this one in the rock anyway for sure. I doubt they will live. Maybe this. See what happens. This one, these are all empty. Right, but maybe I'll just put a couple of those in there. And then we'll just cover it up. See what happens. For a little while anyway. I'll put like an air pump in there yet. Hold on. Members and friends, we're looking at seaweed.
A seaweed.
And we've got, I think, 7 different types.
7 different types.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe up to 11 different types of seaweed.
Turkish crabs.
Okay.
And I got crabs.
You got crabs and you got shells.
Shells.
Yeah, there's a little crab over there. We got hermit crabs. Say hermit crabs.
Horn crabs.
Yeah, we got a little crab shell right there. Right. Lots of little hermit crabs. They came in with the seaweed when I grabbed that clump of seaweed. That's where they came in from.
I took this one.
You want to talk about this one?
Yeah.
What do we have here?
Shells.
Lots of different kinds.
And
What's in here?
I got some rocks.
Rocks. And here's a piece of a sand dollar. Oops. This is a piece of a sand dollar.
I got a sand dollar.
Yeah, that's just a small piece of it. I don't know what this is, but this is kind of nice. You could make a necklace out of this one. It's nice and flat. Right? This is a nice shell too. Right now, so some of these shells here, people, were alive.
And
you can tell, right?
And I got some rocks.
Oh, you have to put it over here where people can see it. Yeah, so if you see here, these ones here.
And I got some rocks.
They haven't been in the water for a while. Where these ones are nice and clean. So these ones were obviously alive at some point.
Those come from the waters.
That's right. These ones here have been crashing around on the bottom of the floor for a while because they're stained, right? Here, though, you can see these ones were just recently alive because they're not stained.
And those.
No, you have to put it right here where people can see.
Those,
right there.
like those.
Right. So we're just kind of washing them up here.
Those.
Right.
And I got a rock.
Nice rock. You have to put it here, Andre. Here, where my Nana's finger is. See? There you go. Okay. And this is barnacles of some kind. Broken up. And there goes Mr. Lace again. Same thing with the clamshells. You can see, get off my knee, please, Andre, you're gonna make me fall. Right? You can see some of them are nice and clean.
And
Right? So the clean ones are just recently been eaten by something.
this towel.
Obviously a bird. And these ones have been in the water for a while. Right?
And those
So clams are living.
are those the bracts.
Hmm.
Are those the bracts.
Yeah, they got stains on them because they've been in the ground for a while. There's barnacles there. Those look like they might be alive, but what can you do now, right? So here we go. Now we're gonna just clean up these ones.
These ones.
Say thank you, members and friends.
I think you're my friends.
Okay, bye-bye, members and friends. Okay, now you can.
Oh, okay, my friends. There's a bucket there.
That's right. There's a bug right there.
Right
There's a bug
there.
in there.
There.
And we'll just move it. See?
Oh,
Right? Do you see
I'm
it crawling?
gonna get her.
No.
Get her.
Some kind of sand lover. Like sand.
Okay, my friends. This a bucket
Looks like it's
there.
ready to attack. Hey.
Get her.
Well, I don't know. It could be a boy. Saying, leave me alone.
Get her.
So maybe what we'll do.
Oh, okay, my friends. There's a bucket there.
That's right. There's a bug in there. So you can see lots of barnacles on here. And they're all pretty much closed on both sides. Right.
There's a bucket there.
Yeah, this one's been in the water for a very long time. I just scooped up on some shells. I wasn't looking for barnacles in particular. Some of these are
And there's a bucket
no
there.
good, empty. But if you look at these ones look like they're all pretty much closed. Right?
Okay, my friends. There's the bucket there.
We're gonna give that one some sand, and maybe when the water cools down, I don't know. This probably doesn't like to be in water. It just likes to be in sand. So, okay. Well, we're gonna wash up this stuff here. So hold on. Okay. So this is the I'm smoking here. So if you see something float by, that's what that is. Right there it is. Anyway, this is gonna be for the garden. But what I noticed is there's a lot of like shells and stuff in it or something. I don't know. Just came out here to see. And I don't know. See, here's a little mussel. Yeah, just watch. So before they say, hold on, move away from here, please.
Nanny, those one.
Trying to tell my grandson there's a little spider over here, right? Always up in my mix. Okay. Just trying to shake out a little bit of this. Just see something falls out. Let's see, 'cause there's little shells and stuff in this stuff. All kinds of little things crawling around. I don't know. Yeah, you can hear it coming out. Something. Rocks. Shells. Little mussels and stuff like that. Ugh. Oh, I'm just... See, this stuff starts to go pretty fast, so tomorrow I'm gonna have to either spread it out and let it dry out. See, this is starting to turn into, they call it slime. People who put this stuff in their yards. It starts to decompose pretty fast, apparently. So that's why I'm kind of working on this stuff right now. See? What's this stuff? And a little crab. Yuck. Kind of gross, members and friends. Yeah, apparently chickens like to pick through this stuff looking for bugs. When you bring it home in this sack, you open it up and you let them pick on one side, and then you roll it over the next day and you let them pick on the next side. But I'm not letting them out right now because I'm supposed to be going to this memorial, which I haven't made it there yet. I'm waiting for my daughter to come home. I'm wondering if she's already went. I don't know. Just rocks. No, I don't think I'm going to do this much longer, members and friends. Anyway, you get the idea. Oh, there's another one of those funky, different kind of seaweeds. See? Hold on. Okay. I'm a little concerned about the cats getting in here and knocking things over. And that little sandworm or whatever it was, he buried himself in here. I put him in here and he crawled in there. So he likes it in there. This stuff in here, I don't know. Like I said, we're just fooling around. Now, I tried to put a shell in here that was actually moving around. A little hermit crab. But it fell into the water. And this water, unfortunately, is still kind of warm. Salt water seems to retain heat. This is, I boiled this a long time ago. But as you can see, it's starting to clear. It's becoming more settled. I have to find the pump. And I can always strain this out later, another day or so, because this stuff will start to rot. There'll be nothing in here to eat it, and I won't have a filter system. But I did it more for the I did it more for the seaweed. All right, I didn't think I'd find any live little hermit crabs, but I don't know. I may have already killed off the seaweed by sticking it into something that was kind of warm. All right, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So there you go. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to dry some seaweed, because I'm making some booklets for the children at my grandson's daycare, because they print and whatnot, and I have lots of paper here. So I'm going to try and dry those as best as I can. I'm not really too sure how I'm going to. I may dry some between books, between parched paper. Or I'll try it this way, and then I have these things here. I'll put them in the middle. See, just rinsed them off with some water. I'll put them in the middle between two sheets, and then we can locate the name and put the little sticker on top, right? And then that can be for like show and tell. And then as I make their book, I'll look for some sea creature projects. Because there's of various ages. There's only 8 kids, not many. I like it, right? And getting the kids to always focus on things. So I'll bring in some extracurricular activities here with the workbook, right? Some show and tell stuff, and maybe I'll get my old saw out, like drill, not my saw, my drill, and I'll drill some holes through here or something, and. So this is a new clam, you can tell. So this was alive not too long ago. Where these ones on this side, maybe not so much, because they are already starting to stain up from the water. You can see the difference, right? So definitely clams. Smells like an ocean in here. And then these ones, we'll let them dry. And again, I'll probably put them in between the plastic, to kind of start building onto a little collection here for educational purposes. And then these are just the little miscellaneous shells and, things for like the the claws of the crab, and maybe we'll put them underneath. I have microscope glass and all those things, but of course I have to find that stuff, right? It's been a long time. So where's my finger? Here it is. Here it is. That's a little crab that didn't make it. Came in on the weeds. These guys. Oh yes, I wanted to point this out. If you look here, this little piece of seaweed is attached to that shell, and this little piece of seaweed is attached to that shell. So, can you see that? There's a little mussel. I got a couple of those. And there's a very, 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 very small hermit crab. This one's extremely small. Can you see it? Alright, members and friends, I'm going to upload this. I got to try and stay positive. Okay? Really.